You might be asking yourself, why am I looking at all 50 states in CK3? Well, we're in After the End, a total conversion mod set in a post-apocalyptic Western Hemisphere. We're seeing all 49 states go up against each other, sorry Hawaii, to see who is the most dominant. We've set most everybody to tribal to make it so we have an even playing field. Obviously, the borders aren't as clean as we'd like them to be, but clean enough for our purposes. So, will it be California, will it be Texas, or will it be some sort of third dark horse that will come out of this time lapse? Let's find out. "572 years have passed now in our state-on-state battle royale. We've seen plenty of powers rise and fall, but for now, it looks like Southron Empire, aka South Carolina, has carried the day. They essentially recreated the borders of the failed Confederacy, and I think their switching to administrative government has really helped them consolidate their power. They're able to worry less about internal struggles and focus more on expanding. The G family has ruled the kingdom, now empire, since 2883 and has honestly done a pretty great job. As for the rest of the states, we've got some regional powers. New York has taken most of eastern Canada, Iowa owns the Dakotas, Nebraska, and Kansas, and Utah has expanded quite a bit. Then on the west coast, California appears to be in a bit of a decline. My home state of Oregon is somehow in the hands of Lower California. I'm not sure exactly how that's happening, but good for them. Alaska is also doing pretty well in the north, still holding on to all of its territory. When we zoom out to the rest of the hemisphere, things are still very up in the air. Cuba and Central America seem to be fairly united, but most of the map is still incredibly divided. Even the hegemon of Brazil hasn't managed to regain its former glory after I destroyed it setting up this map. Before we go through our progressions though, I wanted to point out that California is currently dealing with around 56,000 rebels. That makes this populist uprising the third most powerful force on the entire map. I'm not as familiar with the faith and cultures of this mod, but let's go through them anyways. Evangelicalism is currently the dominant faith in North America, controlling around 340 counties. South America is a little bit more interesting. Mechanism seems to be one of the more major faiths, and from what I can tell is based about a book from 1928 about a man's journey from the jungle to Sao Paulo. So it seems less like a traditional religion and more like the faith centered around Brazilian identity. Then there's the Héroes de la Ilustración, which is all about following the footsteps of the liberator of Peru, Chile, and Argentina, San Martin. Obviously hundreds of faiths across the map, but there are top dogs when sorted by county. Next up, we have culture, and there are a ton of Midwesterners, aka Heartlanders, with 38 counties. After that, some Utahns, followed by a mix of Texan and Arizonans. However, when you sort by the number of characters, we can see that Socaleno culture is by far the most populous culture in the game. Remember, almost everyone started out as tribal, but now Alaska and the far north is really the only areas that still have large tribal territory. Most of the map has transitioned to feudalism, and a few high republics scatter around. One massive administrative government, and of course the California Eureka technocracy. I'm honestly surprised that more people haven't made the jump to administrative. It might just be that they don't meet county requirements or haven't reached the necessary empire status. Let's finish off our analysis by looking at a couple more things in the ledger. In this game, we currently have 5 hegemons: Brazil, United States, Canada, the United Provinces, which I assume is Chile and Argentina, Gran Colombia, which is consisted of Ecuador, Colombia, and Venezuela. Is there some sort of decision that allows Mexico to become a hegemon, or is it just an empire in this game? I genuinely have no idea. Artifacts wise, there are almost 6,189 artifacts in the game. I was honestly pretty surprised that not a single one of them was a gun. Very un-American. Or maybe the AI just hasn't been able to find them while looking through the old world ruins. Last thing I want to talk about is Princess Violet of Cuba and King Ronnie of Lara. Why are we talking about these two sweet looking people? Well, Violet has a total of 19 kills while Ronnie has 16, which is absolutely insane for his age of 16. Both of them also seem to have a grudge against the G dynasty because they both pulled off an exact same operation against them, a bloody wedding designed to eliminate the Gs. And these weddings happened about 30 years apart. Which is wild because you'd think that family would have figured out something was going wrong the second time around. Honestly, the current emperor of South Carolina could have survived both these events. And that's the beauty of leaving the AI to its own devices. You generally never know what kind of insane story is going to come up with. That's all I have for you today. Congrats to South Carolina. You won the state supremacy wars. For now.